What is the purpose of the meeting? How do you know this? The purpose of the meeting is to update what is the progress of the duty of each designated group and exchanging ideas on how they can improve their company. I know this because at first they were talking about updates of their group's duty, and later on they were exchanging ideas and opinions about how they can improve the training of their emotions. They also discussed what is the best strategy that they will be implementing on the training of their employees and their new results or new recruits. So basically, the purpose of the meeting is to having a idea on what the problem is, and by knowing the problems, each of the members of the group will be explaining or giving opinions to know how to solve the problems and to have more ideas of how. And by discussing this, you can really acknowledge all the tips of other people and having new ideas to solve a problem on a group. So that's the purpose of the meeting, to know what's the problem and to discuss what's the solution of the problem. So that's all. So the letter B is the purpose and objective met. How do you know this? So for me, for us as a group, we decided that yes, we know this because there is a purpose and objective met. We know this because they were relying with each other depending on their roles. So each of the members has its roles to have a different ideas of how the problem will be solved, and each of the members has own opinions, and some of the members respects each member's opinions, and some of them give better ideas. So the purpose and objective met because the purpose of a member has its own opinion and gives the objective to the other members, so that the the group itself the group itself will work, and the group will solve any problems or any and the group will understand each pros and cons.
To understand the role of minute taker in the meeting administration process and to develop practical techniques and skills for effective minute taking. Minute taking is a skill that everyone should learn. Taking minutes means effectively recording the key elements of a meeting, either verbatim or through summarizing decisions and actions or creating a narrative. The technique of minute taking is sometimes taken for granted, but it is a skill like any other and takes careful preparation to perform correctly. These minutes taking training course materials are aimed at anyone that might have to take minutes as part of their job role. And it's reasonable to suggest that the task could be performed by anyone within an organization at some time or another. Taking minutes is a skill job because the minute taker has to follow discussions and debates that are often confusing and intercalate, and then summarizing them accurately. Based on my understanding, taking minutes are simply notes taken during the meeting to remind you what was discussed and agreed. They don't need to be long or complicated in fancy language or perfect grammar. They do need to record clearly and simply what decisions were made at the meeting and who is going to carry them out. Minute taking a skill. Without a doubt, not only is it a skill to take minutes at the meeting, but the real work comes in being able to wordsmith a draft set of notes into an exceptional good piece of writing. This means being able to produce a document that is spelled correctly and uses correct grammar and punctuation. Minute taking difficult, of course. While it is not a terribly difficult job, taking minutes is an important one. Since meeting minutes are an official record of what transpired, accuracy is crucial. You will have to take through meeting notes that people must be able to to later if necessary. There are 7 take goals in a meeting. First is take notes before the meeting. The second is don't write down everything. The third is focus on what comes next. And the fourth is organize towards actions. The fifth is use the right retention strategy. 6 is back it up with recordings. 7, sum it up ASAP. So kita tanan kaya if natay trabaho, so natural mo gining mo focus ta hard work lang na. Samar po na sa ato ang mga natas balay, mga family unsay decision nila sa ato like mga atong mga parents. So mag-agar yuta anang ilang gipang unsay decision nila.
So D. What makes the meeting ineffective? Discuss by citing specific examples. Probably the ineffective way for a meeting is creating solutions to a perplexed matter. Or one of the reasons that the meeting is ineffective if the leader or the host doesn't know how to handle his or her audience. Or vague goals. If you don't want your audience to be confused about your goal, you must announce your purpose or goal of your meeting beforehand. If the meeting is directionless and unfocused about the certain topic of what the meeting is about to discuss, it will only waste the audience's time if you are not specific on your goals for the meeting. Like this, it's also one of the reasons why a meeting or a program is ineffective, because I ain't using eye contact. It's lack of eye contact because I'm shy. So eye contact is also one of the reasons why a meeting is ineffective. So thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. I am here this afternoon to discuss my topic. My topic is all about if you were lead the meeting, what would you have done differently and why? If I were lead the meeting, I would have to finalize a certain matter first before proceeding to the next one. It will run the system smoothly in order to avoid pinpointing to whom should be responsible to a specific task, because it will lead to confusion. So, must set up first who will be in charge to particular duty and responsibility to prevent any conflict in the future.
Good afternoon, everyone. I will be sharing to you the minutes of the meeting. So for opening, the fortnightly meeting duly called and held at ABC Manufacturing. Presents were Carol Fletcher, Judy French, Peter Morgan, Frank Mayfair, and Mike Reynard. Approval of the agenda. The agenda was started with some introductions of the new members and updates of each designated groups. Approval of the minutes. The minutes was approved as soon as the meeting starts. Announcement. The production figures are up for the previous quarter by 2% on the product stream 1 and 2 and down by 9.5% on product stream 3. The HR team recruited 10 new people from January to April, and 9 have completed their probation. Open issues. The production team are down by 9.5 on the product stream 3, in which they believe this is due to the recent sale campaign that focused on the higher margin of items in a product stream 1 and 2, which is a little short-sighted as reorder rates on the stream production are quicker, thus they tend to sell all products. New business. The panels discussed on the best rollout training on the site for their employees. Carl Fletcher is in favor of phased rollout, who they can check for faults whilst keeping the service high. Trudy Friends is in favor of a culture change and to swift implementation of and force people into the new system. Agenda for the next meeting. Updates regarding to the best rollout training for their employees. Adjournment. Meeting was adjourned by Carl Fletcher. The next fortnight meeting will be on 18th of October at ABC Manufacturing. So, that is all. Thank you.
Critic on the conduct of the meeting. As we've run through the video, we have observed that the video is a representation of a good meeting. The consistency of its flow runs smoothly. There was an introduction, which is a proper way to handle meetings, especially if there is a new member, and the team leader handled it very well. The meeting started with gathering some updates to each department. Each representative from their designated departments were able to discuss some concerns, issues, and developments. Though there was quite an issue, a concern was brought up but was not clearly resolved, then move on into a new update or issue. However, it was just a bit of snag. After tackling about some information, the team leader did announce the next upcoming meeting, which is very important in order for the representatives of each department to be able to prepare the data. Afterwards, the meeting ended in a decent, formal way.